Javal, how are you doing on this wonderful Florida Friday?
Florida Friday. That's a new one.
Florida Friday, that is a new one. I just kind of thought about that top of my head.
Doing okay. Just
We're not both in Duval, so I can't say it's a Duval Friday. I have to say Florida Friday.
it's still Florida Friday, but just another solid day. NFL weekend's almost here. Thanksgiving's almost here, which is crazy. And I don't know, bro. I feel it literally just happens every single year, and that everyone is always the drag for football to get here is so long. Training camp this long, and then it's always such a drag. And then as soon as the season gets here, you just look up, and now it's about to be week 12 for two-thirds done with the season, which is crazy and we're two-thirds done with the season and we don't want to kill ourselves. So for now, hopefully. But yeah, that it just every year the NFL, it just always you just look up and say, wait a second, what week are we in? Fantasy playoffs are soon? Like talking about playoff pictures soon?
I mean, and guess what? We're in the middle of it for first time, I guess, 2 seasons. We weren't in it last year, definitely in it 2 years ago. We do not want to talk about last year or 2 years ago, though. We are talking about now, which brings up to my current question. Will the real Jacksonville Jaguars please stand up?
Oh, they will stand up when they lose to the Cardinals tomorrow because those are the team that underperforms versus bad teams and overperforms versus good team. But okay, but I guess all jokes aside, I know we didn't even want to talk about let's just brush aside. We didn't even want to talk about football after they had a game in Houston, and I'm just going to leave it that they played a football game in Houston.
They played
That
3 quarters in Houston. One of them was just left behind. So whatever. That's in the past. I think but I don't think the Jaguars play as well as they did last week without that horrific quarter against the Texans. They would not have won 35-6 if they had that abysmal quarter, which sucks because it's kind of been the theme of this team. What do we want to be? Do we want to be a team that looks like they can slap any other NFL team around the league, or do we just want to collapse into a ball whenever it matters the most? Who do we want to be? I mean, I was joking with a lot of my friends throughout the week that I was more pissed off about the win than the loss because why can't we make that look easy every week? I get it's the NFL, but it's the NFL. That's the answer at the end of the day.
Yeah,
But
man. And it's not even just us. There's so many teams in the NFL. Well, they'll have one week where they look great, and then another week they look terrible. Not even trying to just throw shade, but just even like Steelers fans. I'm listening to a podcast and it was saying that Steelers will have a week they look great, and then people expect them to win and they look terrible, and then people expect them to lose and they look great. I think it's just the NFL. It really just is any given Sunday. But hey, man, you know what? We'll take the We'll take the win as much as we can get it. And it's just crazy because if you would have told anybody before the season that halfway through the Jags are 6-4 and are currently in the playoffs, everyone would have been this season's amazing. But it feels like it's still some disappointment left, which is it's just crazy because
we're
it all
six
is
and four with
relative.
meat on the bones, is what you're basically saying.
Yeah, like and that's the thing, like they've beaten good teams and then they've lost to some subpar teams. So it's just which is exactly why I'm terrified of losing to Arizona next week. But hey,
Oh, okay. I guess I should bring this up. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but since that memorial at State Farm Stadium, the Arizona Cardinals have not won a home game since that moment.
oh, so we're
And I
definitely.
want to I want to continue that. There is no way. I do not want to be the team that does that. I do not want to be a fan of the team that does that. I think as long as at least I think the Cardinals will just be cursed for the rest of the season. Just they were 2-0. Remember, they were 2-0. They started off super good, and then they had to do that. I'm not mentioning which moment, but if you know, you know. We are not a politics podcast, but I guess that kind of gives it away.
But I guess let's just talk about the it's so over
Let's
we're so
focus on
back
football. Yeah.
experience of the last 2 weeks. because I don't think it was literally never more it's so over after the game that shall not be named, just for literally it to be we're so back after I'm it's just
Dude, I
funny.
had no stress in the stadium sitting there. We're sitting with our good friend of the pod, Slot Fade, recurring guest of the pod, Slot Fade. Shout out to him for sitting next to me for last game. But there was no stress. I loved it. That made me so upset. I can't have this every Jags fucking Sunday that we go to. It's so funny too. The vibes were so bad leading up to the game. And the Jags do that. I don't fucking get it. I
That
don't get it at all.
that's what this team is, man. They're still starting to get the right balance, but the fact that they can, it is a testament to the coaching. The fact they're able to, after a game, which that could have defined the season, and then they come out and just stomp on the Chargers, just maul them to death for
Four
four quarters.
quarters of just bludgeoning.
I literally had to I had to bet the under on both Trayvon, Josh Hines Allen, and Eric Armstead getting no sacks, and they all got sacks. But I hate this team. I had to throw money on hard
Oh,
rock.
I did the same thing since they gave us a $10 free bet at the stadium. I took Chargers 9.5 just to say, if it is what everybody else says it is, whatever. I've been telling people all week I have a feeling we win this game because we like showing up against top quarterbacks.
I
They
was
fucking
I was
showed up
saying like
against top
there's a
quarterbacks.
like I had a weird feeling. I was like, what if they beat the Chargers when nobody expects them to?
In that fashion, nobody expected. If we won, it'd be like great, but in that fashion, it still
Like
blows my mind.
and I would have thought, it would have been like 24, 21, maybe
Trevor Lawrence
17,
game-winning
14.
drive. Oh, making up for last week or the Texans game. Sure,
What
you know.
Texans game?
You mean the one in week 3?
Yeah, yeah, only game I can remember they faced the Texans. But just, I mean, truly, this is kind of a hilarious football team. But now we're 6-4. I mean, as I said before multiple times, my expectations this season anywhere from 7 to 10 wins. But now it's like
We can
they
get
could.
more. We can get more.
I mean,
We could get
like
more.
if they end the season at 10-7, I think ultimately that's a success. But it's the way the schedule looks, they control their own destiny.
I'm
I'm
just
not,
saying. I'm
it's
just
not
saying.
impossible for them to win the division, which is a little bit crazy. So,
But
you know,
we'll get to the Colts when they do. The fact they have to play us and the Texans twice each is kind of nuts. The
yeah, I
NFL
mean they
the NFL schedulers were in their bag, I guess, to
and
create some drama late for the season. But we do other than the Colts and the Texans, Jaguars control their own destiny, and that's kind of the scary part here. We control our destiny, and we are scared. I'm scared at least. Are you scared? I'm pretty sure you're scared too. We
I
control
mean
our
I'm
destiny.
just the more everything gets like the more the season gets more intense, I'm like, okay, well, it's actually getting serious and now there's expectations and everything. It's going to be it's like the closer we get to me seeing the Jags in playoff contention, I'm trying not to get flashbacks to 2020. I don't know, it
2023.
doesn't
Yeah.
feel as
Yeah.
bad as like 2023 though. They felt more in control. This
Yeah,
time it's
that's
like
it's more oh, Jesus. But that's the thing though. In 2023, did we beat Patrick Mahomes? No. Did we beat Justin Herbert? Like no. Did
we did in
we
2022.
I mean, but not Patrick Mahomes. We didn't do that. Both times we played him. 3 times we played Patrick Mahomes. We didn't win. We beat the boogeyman. And then, things kind of like felt like it was about to fall apart. And now it's like we're so back.
That's
I, yeah, that's the scary part. Which Jaguar team are we gonna get on Sunday?
the one that is going to let Jacoby Brissett re-break his record. No, I don't know. I can't describe why I have this feeling that the Cardinals are going to beat us, but
We
I
felt this last week too, but we didn't talk about it because it was
no,
like,
I
oh,
felt yeah, I thought it was the opposite. I'm like, it would be so Jags for them to lose to the backup QBs, but beat up Justin Herbert. because that would be peak Jags, which is why I'm terrified because that's exactly what's happening so far. So if they can just go to a, because we can talk a little bit more about the schedule upcoming. They've got, I think, 6 games,
If I'm honest with you, I mean,
six,
we know what
seven
this.
games
I
left.
think I think anybody that listens to this podcast knows what the schedule is like.
Yeah, I mean,
It's one week at a time.
one week at a time.
Arizona is very scary, despite not going to be having, Marvin Harrison Jr. and of course their running back room is decimated, but they
They're
still got
getting Trey
capable.
Benson back, I think, though.
Are they?
Yeah, I think he said he might play, but either, I mean, it's still a
Even
little bit early
then,
to
I
say.
mean, we took a Chargers rushing attack and held them to like 42 yards, even though their offensive line and running back room is also decimated. There's no excuse. We got talent on defensive line. Like I was shocked to find out that Eric Armstead is tied for first place when it comes to defensive tackles, when it comes to sacks. But he's been playing well over the past couple of weeks. I can't even like deny that he hasn't been like a good football player
He
for
played
us.
well last week.
He played
I
well
don't.
against the Texans. He got a sack too.
Oh, I don't
He
even
did.
remember.
Yeah, because of the
Oh,
loss. He did play well though, the last two
well,
weeks.
yeah, I am just at a point where, like, even though Arizona's record is not that great, they have more talent. I think part of it is, I honestly really do
Trey
think
McBride, one of the
that
top tight
yeah,
ends in the league.
Trey McBride, please just go nice and slow. Don't you don't have to go all out. Like, if you're
I
going
mean, Brock Bowers did the thing to us, but what also didn't have Devin Lloyd there. I think having Devin kind of there kind
I
of
think
helps.
it'll help. I just even like as good as Devin Lloyd is, I wouldn't say he's a man-to-man tight end eraser. Like he's more of a zone dropper. So he can kind of take away some spots in zone, but I'm also not thinking he's going to be on Trey McBride every single snap in man coverage and run from
If
stride for
yeah,
stride.
if we win this game, the front four has to be getting to the quarterback like they did last week. I know.
Absolutely.
I wish we
And
played the
that's
Chargers
the
offensive line every
frustrating
week. Yeah.
part. Like I know the Chargers had a lot of backups, so their offensive line wasn't good, but we also just saw them struggle versus a not great offensive line in Houston. So it's really the fact that the defensive line, you can tell they were personally playing with their hair on fire. Also, shout out Danny Strigo and BJ Green. Screw
You
that
didn't
ref
get
though.
paid and had
Screw
to
that
take
ref
these.
though.
They
I
fined BJ Green for that hit.
roughing
Why?
the passer because the hit looked Looney Tunes, but he literally didn't even put his full weight. You took a guy's first career sack away because you have to protect your whatever.
They wouldn't have done that if it was Khalil Mack on Trevor Lawrence, I'll tell you that much.
So it just hopefully we can see more because one of the things I actually do want to talk about was the fact that the coaching staff. I don't think it was a coincidence. I mean, granted, once again, Chargers offensive line not very good. So I'm not going to say they can beat every offensive line in the league or they have the best front four.
That they
But
held Justin Herbert to 4 snaps in the second half with your quarterbacks 4, 5, and 6. That's still bonkers to me. That's still crazy. That I was like, damn, we got Christian Braswell, Jarian Jones, and Monteric Brown out there, and
But
they
yeah, shout out to the depth pieces at corner. I mean, I think those guys. I've low-key just wanted to see more of Braswell play for a while.
and
I
hey, I
thought,
mean, they didn't have to do too much. I mean, the
yeah,
front
they
the
didn't have
front
to do too
seven
much.
was kind of dominating for him.
But even the fact that those guys stepped in, they weren't immediately getting toasted, and just they have more depth on defense, especially like they made Ogba inactive. They cut Kalen Saunders, and they gave the younger guys a chance, and they made some plays. I mean, BJ Green would
Oh,
have had that sack.
they opened the 21-day practice window for Benson. They just opened it this
Oh,
week.
open the.
So
Okay, so
that
like.
probably
So
not playing.
probably not. I'm really curious if we're going to see Strange back this week. I haven't checked the practice.
The fact that they was like they posted a video of him running around and catching a football yesterday on socials yesterday makes me think that Strange is gonna come back this week.
Because if Strange comes back, then I think that's a huge boost to.
Strange and or Brian Thomas Jr. The fact I want to shout out Jacoby Miles real quick because the fact we have a receiver that can actually sit in the middle of the field, hold on to the football, and give Trevor an easy 7, 8, 9, 10 yard reception. at that spot of the field, that is going to be huge for guys like Strange and Brian Thomas Jr. when they get back on the football field for us. You can tell Trevor finally found a receiver to be like, all right, bet. Besides, Parker Washington, who's, a lot smaller than Jacoby Myers, but another receiver that you can just rely on to say, hey, if you got a little bit of space and I can throw it in a window, got it. Like that throw, I think it was a throw on 3rd and 6 where Trevor just like zipped it like right past two Chargers defenders right
In
into
the
like
middle,
all the.
yeah.
I was
I
like,
I don't think anybody, maybe Parker or Strange, but outside of those guys. But the fact that, they're even starting like this, they're showing they're not entitled to all their free agency guys. I mean, we're kind of seeing less. Rest in peace, Tiami Brown. He's not dead, just doesn't do anything. The fact that they're not just saying, "Hey, we paid this guy a lot of money for agency, we have to play him." No, they're willing to experiment, and if something's not working, they'll try it. I do appreciate it. A lot of coaches, they play politics, and if it's a vet or a free agent that's heavily priced, Davis, then he has to get a lot of snaps.
bum.
But
Yesterday, Gabe Davis, you bum. I'm sorry. That was still funny for me yesterday. I watched the ending of that game. A real NFL receiver would have had 2 feet down. But, let's not talk about that. We only are focusing on what we got going on. Um,
we're focusing on us for the most part.
I actually found something too, since we're gonna go on the outlook for the rest of the season. Out of all the AUC teams, um, what do you think our strength of schedule was for the first 11 weeks for the season for the Jacksonville
I mean,
Jaguars?
pretty. T I feel yeah, they had a pretty tough strength of schedule considering they faced Chiefs, San Francisco. I mean, the Panthers have been better.
Seahawks,
Yeah,
Rams, yeah.
Seahawks and Rams, and even the Texans have been better. So I feel strength of schedule wise, they're probably top eight, is my guess.
They had the fourth toughest schedule going into the season, or
They
going into
almost,
week 12.
they could have been like 7 or 8 wins with the toughest schedule.
And
I hate this
where do
team.
you where do you think the remaining schedule? What's our strength of schedule
Oh,
for the
like
remaining of the season?
27th.
29th. You're pretty close. We legit have the fourth easiest schedule going into the season. We had a gauntlet to start out, and that was the top five schedule. If
That's what
you
scares me is that they play better
see,
versus the good teams, and they're gonna face the bad teams. They're gonna choke.
so inverse, if you want to look what's around us, the Colts, they had the 31st strength of schedule to start the year. Where do you think they are for the rest of the season?
Oh,
No,
like
wait, that they
they're
have to
at
play.
fourth, first.
They have the toughest schedule in the NFL after starting 8-2. And then the Texans, they were sitting at 18th for their first 11 weeks. And then now they have the third toughest strength of schedule because they have to play all the division winners along with the Colts to end the season.
I'm just noticing.
They're gonna beat each other up.
I am the noticer right now.
I'm just saying, my wallet will hate me in January if what I think is gonna. I don't want to say it out loud, but I think my wallet's gonna hate me in January.
I'm just going to.
You're just Yeah, I think my wallet's gonna hate me in December or in January. That's all I'm saying. I already don't work enough as I need to. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying I think my wallet's gonna be hurt in January.
This
I'm
is
not
the
saying it
part.
out loud.
This is what scares me is that they have
Yeah.
this at
They
the start of
have to
the
take
year.
care of business.
Yes, and
Cardinals.
that's what I'm terrified of. Like this is going to kind of show, okay, are they still, a year away from the coaching staff? Because really, I think as long as the coaching staff gets the team mostly organized and focused, then they will be able to take care of business. And I don't want to get too far out of the schedule, but like even this week, you're traveling to Arizona to face a team you don't really have any personal history with. It could just kind of show up and not care. But if the coaching staff can get them all motivated, then I don't think it's going to be a completely easy win unless the Cardinals just lay down because the Cardinals have talent. It's not as if like
They're not a talentless bunch.
I'll be honest, I
They're just
kind
kind
of
of like a
thought,
dead team walking, like at this
yeah,
point,
I
though.
thought I really just think that them losing to the Titans that way just killed their whole season because that just ruined the whole morale of everything. But
At home, even at
yeah,
home.
they have talented players. Obviously, Trey McBride's probably the best at it in the NFL outside of Brock Bowers. Michael Wilson just had a great game as a receiver. So even though they don't have Marvin Harrison, they still have another receiver. I mean, the O-line's okay. I think it's probably better than the Chargers offensive line.
Yeah, I'd say it's
So,
better for
you know, you're
sure.
not expecting to just tee off every single play. And Jacoby Brissett, it gets weird because he's technically not the backup anymore, but it's still like he wasn't starting the year, so I'm like, is the backup curse still happening? So this could just be a very I just
But
remember every time we play Arizona, something weird
I will
happens.
note this out. The Jaguars are 1-3 against Jacoby Brissett, or 3-1 against Brissett is 1-3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's what I meant to say because he was the Colts quarterback, and every time the Colts came into town, he was just the food. So I mean, he's gonna be throwing the ball a lot probably if we can stop the run, which hopefully
Yeah, I
continues
mean,
from
I
last
think the
week.
Jags are one of the few teams that haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher. I saw a stat from Daniel Griffiths
Yep,
where if you take away QB scrambles, they're allowing the lowest rushing yards per game in
to
the
a running
league.
back.
So,
That's what the eye test kind of told me too. It's like when you read that, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
because they really haven't allowed many big runs. Most of their big plays have just been over the
I just
air.
remember the one
Yeah.
week where the Niners were spamming McCaffrey out of the backfield for passing the ball to him, and just like, okay, you kind of just have to give that up. But it's also like, damn, yeah, he really did have a lot of big runs against us. So
So if they can just limit, it's really just can the front four get pressure to Jacoby because he's he's kind of elusive, but he's not Kyler where he's gonna run away and scramble for 5 seconds. So if you can get him down to the ground, that'll open up everything with the offense. I mean, with the defense, and because let's be real, I mean, they're gonna have to really probably gonna have to double team Trey McBride and kind of let everybody else beat you. So if they can just have him hold the ball for a split second longer, or the pass rush is just on their P's and Q's. I know Trevon had a knee injury, so I don't know how healthy he'll be.
it's gonna be probably Allen, Ogba, Strigow, and Green as our edge rushers going into Sunday, and then
And
they can
then you'll
rotate. They can definitely rotate Gardick and or Lloyd to rush the passer too. But it looks like that's what's going to be the rotation going
I
into.
I just like the last two times we played the Cardinals, I remember they've had a great Jags touchdown and a loss because the 2017 that was when Calais had the scoop and score, but we lost to Blaine Gabbert, and then 2021 I believe was when Agnew broke the had the return touchdown in a game we still lost. So every time we play Arizona, something weird and dumb
I
happens,
don't
but it
think
doesn't
we've
matter.
beaten them since 2006 or 2005, which is at their place too, ironically enough.
Yeah, I mean, granted, obviously we don't play the Cardinals very often, so it makes sense. It's just like, even in Jacksonville year, they lost 2021. I mean, they were
Blaine
just
Gabbert, I remember that game so vividly
dude.
because I was at my dorm watching it at like the one of the TVs and like one of the floors, and I was just like,
There's no way we're losing to our backup quarterback. That was terrible with us. So hopefully, Jacoby, you don't have to go too crazy today. Just take the day off. But that's why with this game. It feels like it could be a trap game. Like if you just overlook the schedule, this could very easily
but
be a
I
trap game.
also trust the coaching staff to be like, hey, everything's ahead of you.
I want the coaching staff to like before they go on the field, just play the fourth quarter of the Texans game and just have them remember how embarrassing that felt and have them play pissed. Like whatever they did before. I don't know what they did. Probably did. Oh, they talked about that game. Just literally play the clips of that fourth quarter every time before they play and say, if you don't want this to happen, play pissed off. I would do that if I was a coach. Like just every single. They could literally be going on a 6 game win streak, and I would say, remember this embarrassing loss. Don't let that happen again.
But then, it's a week to week league. That week was 2 weeks ago. Last week was that. Then now you're saying into the locker room, build upon what you did last week. We know what we can be. We know what football team that we are capable of becoming. let's keep fucking going because honestly, I believe that they will keep fucking going on Sunday.
Yeah, man, it's I like that was probably the first time we've had a win that it wasn't nervous. So
Yeah,
I guess well, since the Panthers game.
but that was week
But
one, so you're
yeah,
just like,
like
okay,
week one wins are never like, you can
yeah.
feel great, but in week one, everything is a little bit like nobody knows anything.
And week
So the fact
11,
that they're
it's like week 11, you
the
know.
fact that, now that they had their first win of being able to show their dominance, if you can do that a little bit more, that would be great. So, now it's just we'll see, man. I really have no clue what's going to happen. Other than Trey McBride having 10 catches for
That's
150 yards.
you gotta allow that though, right? That's just like, okay, sure. Let's hope that Michael Wilson doesn't go off, or let's hope that Bam Knight doesn't go off. Let's hope that, XYZ don't go off. If their
Just
star
yeah,
player
just
goes off, sure. But let's get everybody else. Let's restrict them to less than 30 yards each if their top guy goes for over 100.
so yeah, man. It definitely is crazy though, just how a roller coaster this team has been. But at the very least, there's some hope. You can actually see, okay, you can see the way where if things kind of progress, whether they are in the wild card or they host a playoff game, whatever happens, you can kind of start to believe a little bit in how everything's going and just, man, it's just a little bit nerve-wracking because the more they have expectations is the more I'm ready to get disappointed for. So now I'm just, are
But
you
that's the
ready?
thing, though. It all goes down to one person we haven't even mentioned on the podcast. Do you know who that person is that we haven't mentioned yet?
The nose picker?
Yep, number 16, Trevor Lawrence. And the whole season, just like I said during the Chiefs game, like I said, throughout the season, this team goes where Trevor Lawrence goes. My take on him now with more than half a season on the thing, he's a very frustrating quarterback to watch. But at the end of the day, I still think if we need a clutch moment, that's our guy. I believe in him 100% of the way.
It's
Does he need to
hilarious.
throw a dumb fuck throw though
It-
to get going? I hate that part about him. I hate that.
Dude,
I it's
it's hilarious. Somebody, yeah, shout out Daniel Griffiths again. Jags that he just has all the Jag stats. Literally, Trevor's interceptions. He has 8 on the year, and 7 of them are when we're ahead. And there's 0 interceptions when we're behind. I can't explain. It
that's
doesn't.
the thing. That it's like he has to learn how to play with the lead again because he hasn't done it consistently since Clemson. He legitimately hasn't had like complimentary football around him since, when it was in easy mode at Clemson
So,
back when he was in school. So
man, it's like Trevor. uh, To me, I know the stats, like especially pass stats, don't look that great for Trevor. I think he's been better than the stat. Like if you watch the games and you watch
yeah.
the stats,
But people are always gonna have that question until he wins us something. I think I've already accepted that, like feeling that unless he wins something, this is always gonna be the conversation around Trevor Lawrence.
yeah, I
But
mean,
that's the thing though.
it's
Last
always
week,
going to be toxic around him. But
yeah,
number one overall pick.
the running game, I'm just saying that was fun to watch last week. We just did vertical tosses in the back of behind for we spammed that shit all game. And it got like 6, 7, 8 yards of carry, I feel like every time, whether
Pick
it was.
7?
Yeah, I was like, we spam that shit. Like, so, oh no, don't do that. But we spam that toss play, and Bashal too, it was cooking, or ETN, he was cooking. I
Shout
mean,
out
it
to Quinn
worked.
Allen too, man. Running back room did a great job. O-line did a great job. Especially Cole Van Lannon filling in for Anton.
Very good
He
job compared
played
to
just
last
very
week. Yeah,
as Ezra Cleveland, as we've always said, X
most
Factor.
X Factor, baby, X Factor. No, legit though, he might be our best offensive line, which is very weird.
It's
It's very weird. No, or shout out Robert Hainsey too. That pancake for that last ETN touchdown. Dog, absolute dog. I love that. I love watching the replay of that. Him and Makari side by side taking two Chargers and pummeling them for fucking 10 yards into the end zone. They carried them to the end zone. I love it.
Yeah, man, it was definitely, once the O-line, when they're on, they're on. It's just, I think the same thing just with the team itself, with the O-line. When the O-line's playing well, usually the team is playing well. When the O-line's playing bad, usually the team is playing bad. So, I mean, the Chargers, I mean, oh, sorry, not the Cardinals, not only they have a crazy front seven, but they have pieces, Josh Sweat, been productive, Walter Nolan. So it's not going to be like again, the Cardinals have talent. It's not they can just wake up out of bed without any practice or any prep and proceed to roll them. They're going to have to put effort in to win this football game. There's still pieces on this team, and it really just if they can get a lead and just take the life out the building, that would be great. But it is also the Jags, so I don't expect them to take a big lead and hold on to it all the time. So, you know, we'll see how things go. But
But we don't have to play the Texas defense every week too. I think that's the best. We don't have to play them every Sunday.
yeah,
Thank
I'm trying
God.
to think of who's
They
probably the
look.
best defense will play. Oh, well, Denver at Denver
Yeah, I was
domination.
gonna say just Denver. That's pretty much. But we'll see how that goes. 'Cause that's legitimately 3 weeks before the season is over. You played the Broncos and the Colts back to back before you have to play the Titans again.
That'll
So
yeah, that'll determine the season.
these two games before December are crucial to see where we can be in January.
Yeah, so
Getting past these two games, Cardinals first, Titans next, and then December, that will determine our season for sure. But let's get to Arizona first. Let's take care of
we're
business.
on
Let's
to Arizona.
Yeah, we leave
Anybody else you
Arizona.
wanted to shout out before we wrap this up from the game last week?
So I shouted out the running back. We shout out running back room, Jacoby Myers. Oh, Quentin Morris. Oh my God. Where the hell did that come from? Shout out to him too. 70% snaps for offense. I mean,
Hey man, blocking tight ends, man.
the undrafted free agents. Just him, yeah, Strigal, Green. Like, hey, shout out to them. Stepping up when we need a little bit of a spark, and they gave us that.
I also kind of wanted to bring up, I remember something I thought during the game last week where I remember last year when Tampa played the Chargers and the Bucks put up like 40 points and people were saying, oh, like Jesse Minter, head coach candidate, and then Liam Cohen diced him up, Liam Cohen head coaching candidate. And now again, that Liam Cohen diced up the defense, but also not just him playing well with the defense, but with Tampa last year, they had a lot of injuries, especially the wide receivers. I mean, Mike Godwin, I mean, not Mike God, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin both missed time. And there he was still able to get the offense to be productive. So I think we're just seeing some of those elements carry over from last year when I was watching Tampa and I was like, wow, still being able to put up points despite not having a fully healthy unit. We saw that also. I mean, no Brian Thomas, no Travis Hunter, no Brenton Strange, and they put up the most points on the season. Shout out to Liam Cohen for just being able to adapt with the players he has. I mean, also shout out to Jimmy Stones for getting us Jacoby because I think Jacoby was a huge impact. But even just Parker, still being there. Also, shout out Logan Cook. He didn't have to do anything, so I know he was so happy.
He
Logan
was
Cook must
just
have just he
uh
must have just been
yeah,
chilling on the
just
sidelines.
all he had to do, there you go. That's all he had
No,
to do.
imagine just being a puncher
Yeah.
and the team just doesn't need you. Like you won't even be offended though because you're winning, but it's just like. You kind of want to do your job, but at the same time, if you're doing your job is bad for the team, like Logan Cook just got to sit back, relax. He could have just been growing on the sidelines and it might have made a difference.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to him. He deserves a day off every Sunday if we can.
Yeah,
He
hopefully we can
deserves
keep
it.
it. Hopefully we can keep
Yeah.
it going, man. Let Logan show.
Yeah, exactly. He's done enough for us over the almost decade that he's been on this roster. He deserves a little bit of rest because he's had a lot of work during the bad Jag years. He earned that paycheck though. He earned that paycheck last Sunday.
Also, I wanted to say oh, not shout out, but I know we didn't talk about it since it was a player move, but the Jags did add one Thornhill to the practice squad, and then they waived the Viking safety who never really had a chance. But kind of hilarious that one Thornhill was playing for the Steelers and then hit BTJ on that completion, and now he's in the locker room. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say he's gonna come in and revolutionize the defense because it is also a safety that another team cut in the middle of the year. I'm just glad they're at least keeping
Yeah,
the
Juan
ad safety
Thornhill, right?
depth. I
Yeah.
respect them for just trying to keep improving the roster around the margins and just if any of y'all mess up, I'm not even gonna say any names, but if any of y'all mess up, just at least they have another guy for depth. Hopefully they play better though, because we didn't have nobody was hating on 26 or 42 last. I mean, shout out Antonio Johnson as well. Kind of was a little bit of an overthrow by Herbert, right place, right time, but at least just running to the ball. And then when Herbert floated it to him, he didn't drop it, so a big return. So shout out my birthday twin. But yeah, man, I'm just with this defense, they could be good, they could be bad. This offense, they could be good. Whatever we'll see. But I just hope, really, I just want to hope that the coaches just keep instilling that every week. And I think Liam Cohen does a good job of that. Like most games, you can tell he's pretty fired up. And just between him, Tony, and Jimmy Stones, I feel they all have a sense of energy that should help this team travel. But I mean, they beat one team on the West Coast. Well, I guess two with the Raiders, but that Raiders game was also kind of sloppy. So, but hey, if they have another 1 point win, it won't be pretty, but I'll take a win. So
Oh, speaking of the Arizona Cardinals, I sent you something. Check your text. I texted you something that kind of relates. Yeah, you got to have the audio on. So, I just want to. It kind of relates to what I was talking about earlier with the
this is
Arizona
going to be the
Cardinals.
most hilarious troll pod of all. Or
This post, I was dying earlier, and I was getting my food at Wawa for lunch.
Oh, well, any other thoughts before we close out from here?
Um, just win, right? We just gotta win. That's all it is. We control our destiny. Very scary, I know, but
That's what's terrifying. Also, a shout out to Trevor Lawrence with the armband or the play calling
it's the
band.
red
Just
on the
wear that
red zone.
every.
It's just for the red zone too. It's not even it's not even for like the rest. It's just when we get into the red zone, that's the only time he needs it. Probably the shortest play sheet we ever got in our lives. I might need one for whenever I have to go to the Hello Kitty Cafe truck tomorrow to remember what my wife wants me to buy for her. But other than that, um, I'm a little nervous, but that's natural nerves that we're 6-4 going to a very important stretch of football for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean now it's playoff implications, and I don't want to say it's playoffs or bust from here because once again, my expectations for a team and a first year head coach, first year GM was anywhere from 7 to 10 wins. But now that I mean, really. Considering the schedule, I feel 10 wins is kind of should at least be the floor. I mean, if they at least win the games they're supposed to win, they can get to 10-7 and control their own destiny. But at the same time, I don't want to look ahead of it. I can come back in here Monday and say how this team loses the Cardinals makes me want to kill myself again. So, you know, who knows what the hell is gonna happen with this team.
Oh, this would have been something that I think you would have been a fan of, but I don't think they're making one for our basketball teams. But there are official One Piece NBA collab products coming to NBA Shop Japan. They
They
did it
have
for
one for the Grizzlies,
you
but
know
not
why
the
they do it for the Grizzlies though. You
why
know why.
for cool.
Yuki. They had Yuki.
I guess, whatever. Whatever.
They have Yuki, bro. I'm just saying. I know you were disappointed we didn't see Miami Heat. I know
They
you'd have been
had
like
Zoro as the on the Boston team. He is never beating the allegations.
I was like, damn, that's very Javal-esque news that I know he was probably disappointed about. I'm sorry, Javal.
There's enough characters to do one for each MB.
You're not
The
you're
worst
not
part
wrong.
is that they had a character with the fire fruit and they
Yeah.
don't give him to the Heat or the Suns. Whatever. What it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, it's like I they don't. It's like NBA Japan don't want my money. That's what you're saying.
It's okay.
They don't want your money.
It's
They
okay.
don't want your
All right.
money, right?
I don't care. I'm not salty. No, I don't care. It does nothing matters. No.
Oh man. Oh, this podcast has fallen off the rails, but it's a good one because we're coming off of a good win, and we just want that to keep going. We're excited but nervous that we are in this spot in November. So, anything else, Javal? I think that was a pretty productive podcast today.
Just I'm really just curious to see once the offense starts to get a little bit healthier, how it will look because we haven't even seen Jacoby and BTJ play to get together. So
That will open up everything for
I
Brian
think 'cause
Thomas. He
really
doesn't
the
have to
one
be the
biggest
one
thing,
sitting.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have a true deep passing game. So if they're just able to get Brian Thomas, because
They can have Strange and Myers be in that middle of the field. And then, hey, Brian, go beat that safety. You know
and
you're
even
fast
like
enough
some
to do
Parker
that.
too, you can have Parker who doesn't have the best catch radius, but he
He's
can.
still a ball magnet, but he can also go a little bit deeper too. He doesn't have to just be sitting over the middle.
I'm just really curious how this offense will look, especially once, because I really do think Jacoby might have been the missing piece. And then if they get BT to just, so I'm really curious. Hopefully he comes back pretty soon. I mean, I just,
I'm guessing Sunday, if you ask me.
I
I
just
think
want him to
both of
have at
them.
least like
Yeah.
1 or 2 big weeks to really get that confidence back of just, all right, like, I can do
These are
this.
two games that if you plug him in, that's just two games to get his confidence back. That's
So,
just my opinion.
but yeah, I think that's all for now. Please don't make me want to kill myself, Jags. That's all I'm asking for. Just Hannah, please just win, bro. That's literally all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for it to be another blowout. Just handle your business. Take the Cardinals seriously. Give it 100%. Don't have a lot of dumb penalties but the Cardinals literally
Oh,
had, I
shout out to
think,
the team as well. Only one penalty last week. We did
and the
not mention
Cardinals
that at
had,
all.
I think, 17 penalties last week versus San Francisco. I think it was at home too.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Make
like,
them make them make mistakes and don't make them as much mistakes.
that's
That's all.
like the more everything should be in every time there's a game and the majority of analysts pick the Jags to win, I am terrified. My cheeks are clenched. So,
Yeah, especially since Vegas also has it at like 2.5 for the Jags as a favorite. 3 now. That was basically the same as the Chargers game last week, and they got mollywopped by us. So, it should stay that way. It should. There's some, Vegas usually knows better than we do. So it's going to be a close one, but I think this is a game we will come up on top. We have more to play for. We are a better football team. We are a better coach football team, and we need to just come out, play to expectations. That should just be the message.
I just Liam Cohen, please keep working miracles on me.
Yeah, be in your bag. 100%. All right. I know you got something to do pretty soon, so I'm gonna let you go. Let's go ahead and let's get a win on Sunday.
That's all we're asking for, baby. Just win.
And then let's plug in the YGY, right? I think that's also pretty important.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'm having a photo shoot for y'all, Jim, done pretty soon. So I'm gonna update the website hopefully sooner than later. I'm trying to do some new social content. So if you ever need some new athleisure gear for whether you're going on a run outside, going to the gym, playing sports, inside, outdoors, you've got you covered. YallJimmy.com. So stay tuned. We got the photo shoot coming out pretty soon. Ladies, I did make something for y'all too. Got new sports bras, got new long sleeves on deck. So
It's
not just for the
cold.
men,
It's
but
getting
for the women
colder
too.
soon. Not just yet.
So,
It's Florida. I don't know if it's gonna be cold again like it was like a week or two ago, but that was really
but
nice
yeah.
when it was.
And then outside of that, just we appreciate y'all for tuning in with us and listening to our nonsense. We may not have the biggest following, but just anybody who wants to listen to our Jags banter, we
Forever and
appreciate you.
ever for the love of the game.
Yeah,
That's what
we're
it's
just
all
doing this for
about.
the love of the game, and then whoever else is really just a fan, we appreciate you all. We're just two fans who are, as you can tell, are very passionate about our football team, even though a lot of times they kick us in the nuts. But sometimes they treat us right. Sometimes they treat us nice and they take us out for a date.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, we appreciate you all. Hope you have a blessed day. And I guess we'll see if it's going to be a manic Monday or a I'm trying like a winning Wednesday?
Victory Monday.
Victory
I don't
Monday.
know.
I know, but I wanted to go with the acronym though.
Oh,
We'll see if it's Manic or Victory Monday. We'll see.
Victory Monday, winning Wednesday. We'll see. All right, Javal,
Or
enjoy the
tie
rest of your
Tuesday.
day.
You never know. It could be
Oh,
a tie Tuesday.
we're the only NFL team to never do it. Let's not end on that. We're winning on Sunday. All right, Jamal, you have a good rest of your day.
Victory Monday. Let's get it.